Welcome back to Wolfson. Hi, let's play some more Victoria 3. It's a lovely Sunday afternoon, April 2nd, 1839 in game, but it's also Saturday afternoon. This is Saturday afternoon for me in the real world, and it's probably, this video is going to come out on a Sunday. Anyway, what are we doing? We're playing as Algeria. We're going for Barbary's back, an achievement which is just so extremely simple on its face. All we have to do is take back Algiers from the French. And I don't know. I honestly don't know if there is a diplomatic option to just getting that done. Because a military option is very far away. It's an achievement very few people have, considering that it's a medium difficulty achievement and you do not need Iron Man in this game to complete achievement. Not that it has ever been a full Iron Man, really. It still isn't. You can still cheat copy-pasting save games, I think. Haven't tried it yet, but anyway, people being able to freely save and load surely makes it easier to get achievements. Still, nobody has gotten this. Maybe nobody's cared about the Algerian thing. Who knows? Or maybe it's a lot more difficult than it seems to be. Interesting. Anyway, the French are powerful, and we're not. So unless we can talk them into giving us Algiers back, it's gonna be a while. How do we become more powerful? What we've been focusing on the last two episodes was building up our economy. Trying to get some industry going. I think we built a clothing factory over in Tlemcen, right? Textile mill, yes, which is not doing great. It's doing okay, but it's not really doing all that well. Cash reserves are kind of tis what tis. Our fishing wharves have a huge problem with getting access to boats. And we are building a furniture manufactory to, well, produce furniture. But the problem is that it costs wood. And we have a huge issue getting wood. Got wood. Because we don't produce any. We have to import all of it. We have some livestock ranchers who seem to be doing well in producing all that fabric. And once the furniture factory goes up, then we'll have even more demand for fabric, so we might even want another one of the thingies. Another one of these livestock ranches, for sure. We've been building up the wheat farms too. They have been struggling a little bit since the last upgrade. Not quite sure why. It's probably because of the price of wine being just in the gutter. Much more wine than our people can drink. And we're not exporting enough, apparently. I thought we had an export trade route. We do, but it's only exporting 45 units of wine. If I were to look at one of these, none of the other trade goods are immediately offering a good amount of wine exported. Sure, we could run another one, say to the French or the American market, but that would hit our bureaucracy cost again, which, well, we just don't have the bureaucracy. We could go ahead and do something about that. And maybe that's what we do after the furniture manufactory. Maybe we do build up our government administration a bit. It's money out of our pockets, but it's probably going to be good for the country as a whole. It would also be great if we got that paper for the filing cabinets. But again, wood it's a problem. You do need wood to make paper, right? Yeah. It'd be really nice if we could acquire, I was about to say accrue, but I didn't mean to say acquire a province that actually produces wood. Now, there are map modes in this game. They're a bit different than they are in the other Paradox games. At least it feels like that to me. That's the usual location finder. Then you can turn on different lenses, right? I could go to trade lens. Right, I was already trade lens, and then go for, that's not what I'm looking for. Production lens, maybe. Resources. That really doesn't tell me what I need either. And we can see that wood is contributing to GDP in Algiers, but not by a lot. But in Morocco places, it's much more important. So they are producing wood over here. As is Tunisia. Now, Tunisia might seem like a natural target, being our neighbor and not too big. But if I'm not mistaken, Tunisia is protected by Mr. O, who is not remotely as powerful in Victoria as they are in EU4, but they're still way more powerful than the Algiers over here. Is that correct? Yeah, well, they're in the Ottoman market. That doesn't yet mean that they're protectorate of the Ottomans. So it's the game gonna tell me what a protectorate is. No. It's actually, well, it can tell me here, I think. Game is pretty good about its tooltips. It's just sometimes hard to find the right. Autonomous subject type, able to set their own diplomatic place. Country may ask or be asked to become protectorate and an overlord with the risk of war. Okay, it doesn't really say, but I assume if they're a subject, then the overlord will defend them, right? Limited varying degrees to an overlord, yada yada yada. Yada. Yeah, inabilities are free to decide. Can be liberated. It doesn't really say what's gonna happen if we start a diplomatic play, which is... I don't know if it's time to go deep into diplomatic plays yet, but essentially you don't just declare war, as you do in, say, EU4, but you make a diplomatic play for, say, a province, and then different factors may lead that to war, or they may just give up and give you the province, or other things might happen. But I'm sure if we were to start a diplomatic play to, say, conquer Tunis, yes, we will face the Ottoman Empire as an enemy. Others could join other sides, so we need to convince, like, France or somebody to join on our side to even make this remotely interesting or remotely possible. We are improving relations to the French. We were already improving to somebody else, but that has stopped. I forget who it was. Was it the Spaniards? Might have been the Spaniards. Feel like we want to do that, but they still really don't like us. They want to antagonize us. Why? Why? We have the birds to spend, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to begin improving relations again. Maybe we can do that. I also want to see whether we can form a trade agreement with somebody. Now, our current trade routes are to who? Doing a lot of, well, we're doing trading with the Netherlands, with the Ottoman, with the Spaniards, and more. Well, that's Egypt, not the Ottoman. Okay. It might not be utterly difficult to get a trade agreement with Egypt. What that would do is that we don't have to spend bureaucracy for trading, and that would be pretty good for us. They don't like us very much. Natural enemy. Oh, come on. And they're a bit infamous because they did things, for sure. Trade agreement. Let's have a look at that. Base reluctance, sure. The fact that we're already trading helps. We'd need to have a lot more volume there to overcome this, and opinion will go into it if we get opinion very high. So the nice thing is that their GDP is only 10 times that of ours. I mean, it's 10 times still, but there should be a much larger modifier here with the French. If we were to look at the same idea with, say, the French. Actually, no. Interesting. Maybe the French are actually easier. We get the same base reluctance. We get the same -10 for the GDP difference. So I guess 10 times is already tons. And they have that conciliatory attitude. So if they also liked us, that would probably help. And if we were trading with them, okay. Okay. I assume the French market, we should be able to check that too. We have a look at the French market. We can see what goods are available there. These are trade routes. I want the market details. There we go. There's tons of excess wood, for example, on the French market. And it's somewhat cheap. So importing wood would be easy. That's kind of nice. Okay. Okay. Tempted to look at the French there. If we were to talk to you with a trade agreement, it's similar, except you are, we lack the +50. let's say the Brits. I don't know if there's a good Diplo macro builder, so to say, in the game. Cooperative. It's not the same as conciliatory, but it also helps. So the Ottoman is also potentially an interesting target there. Much more so than Egypt, really, even though we have some ideological similarities. The French. We're already improving with the French. Would there be interesting trade routes to the French that we could maybe replace some of our existing trade routes for? Always looking into importing wood, which could be done with the French. No, it's actually decent. It's just a very low volume trade route. It's a bit sad. If we were to export wine to the French, exporting wine to the French seems weird, but actually that would be... It's not as productive as exporting to the Americans, but it uses a lot of your convoys, and it's the same amount that's being transported there, so it's just less lucrative. Might actually be more interesting than the export. Well, the export to Spain is 45 units, which is more, and it's pretty lucrative, so yeah. We just need more bureaucracy. I think what this says to us, or to me at least, is, well, first of all, we might as well spend a bunch of birds on improving relations with Mr. O as well. And then I want to look into building up some more bureaucracy to meet the needs of the expanded bureaucracy. We do have an active journal entry, which is sort of a quest-ish, mission-ish system, which does give you some bonuses if you complete these. We must have 30 total years of monarchy or theocracy, okay. With state religion on, check. Autocracy on, check, and no civil war progress. Okay, so we just need to wait for this to keep going, and then we'd get an event, official nationality. It's not going to tell me what this event does, but so far these have all been positive. I don't know, there might be negative ones for like civil wars or something, but I've seen only positive ones so far. I still don't care about battalions in reserve. Wood is expensive, clippers are expensive, and we lack wood and clippers. Yeah, it is known. It is known. Let's have a quick look at our textile mill right now and see how that one's doing. Because it wasn't looking too hot earlier. I should no longer be sitting in front of the messages in the bottom right. We did change that at end of last episode. Sorry for it. Was it the one before? I don't know. But you should now be able to see the price changes and all that. Cool. Petite bourgeoisie is no longer marginalized and now influential, so the makeup of our politics is changing. If we look here, we still have a lot of landowner clout and Sunni Ulema, but the rural folk, the armed forces, the intelligentsia, and the petite bourgeoisie all actually have some standing in our politics right now, which is important because we want to go away eventually from all these backwards policies of the landowners and go towards other people. And there are a million factors that influence this, the amount of clout that a group has. It depends on pops joining that interest group. And I think I talked about pops before, that I believe they have an inclination to be in a certain interest group, but I don't know that all pops I don't know that all aristocrats are landowners, but they do support land ownership mostly. So as we build industry that requires different types of pops, and people specialize into other areas, other interest groups will become more powerful, which will allow us to grab different laws and also grant us different bonuses, like this useless influence bonus we're getting here. And interest pop group attraction is actually actively negative. Although these are that's not what I actually was looking for. These are traits of our current ruler. I was looking for these things here. Yeah, we get 20% influence because the landowners are happy. And we get 20% bonus authority because the Ulema are happy. That's more useful. We're not using all our authority, but we will end up. The more, libertarian, democratic, whatever you lean with your politics, the less authority you will have to just spend. And it becomes more and more important to get things that do give you some. Oh, we actually don't have enough convoys for our wood routes to increase in level. We have been having extra convoys before, now we don't, so definitely something we need to look into. I haven't really talked much about technology, so maybe might as well do that right now. We just unlocked the lathe, which, well, it does lead to a bunch of other technologies, sure, usual text tree stuff, but it also unlocked, in this case, a bunch of production methods for our textile mills, furniture manufacturers, and glassworks. I don't believe that any of these are going to be useful right now. We should have a quick look at whether that does something for us. Textile, furniture, and glassworks. We don't have any glassworks, and I believe the furniture is still being built. But our textile mill got a new production method here. So currently we're just hand sewing clothes. We could switch over to dye workshops to use, well, I assume use dye in the production process, which produces more clothing, but also increases the demand for dye. Right now we don't need any dye. We don't have any dye. We see the price going up on the market. That's one thing that's going to happen. But also, since we have our own small closed market, there just isn't any dye because we're not producing any. So the production here would be hampered. It does say that up here, input goods shortage of dye will generate a penalty. So no use for doing this until we find our way into some dye. Which is not great. So can't really use that. We should have a look at the furniture manufacturing one. It would... Okay, it doesn't really give us real numbers because it's not done yet. I assume it's going to mean we produce more furniture. We have lathes, but we also need to use tools, which we don't have. Again, their production requires wood. We're going to need a lot of wood around where we're going. Technology. I wanted to complete the lathe so that we can grab intensive agriculture, because that's just pretty good in my experience. Steel tools are nice and all, but we don't have tools or steel. Not sure we're going to look into that just yet. Baking powder, not super interesting. Canneries, I talked about this briefly, I think, one of the previous episodes. If we had a food industry and an iron mine, then we could use the iron to put the food into cans, which improves the output of the food industries. I still don't believe that we have a lot of use for groceries just yet. Let's go intensive agriculture. It's going to do tons of things. At least it looks like it. Essentially what it does, mostly, it allows our livestock ranches to produce fertilizer, and it allows our farms to use fertilizer to produce more, well, whatever produce they're producing. Ooh. Something happened recently that generated a lot of radicals. I don't quite know what we did there. But it's not good, is it? This is going to say that most of these radicals come from decrease in standard of living. So we did something so that people have less money in their pocket. Might have been a change of a trade route. We did add taxes, but that was earlier than that. So I'm pretty sure that's not it. It might also have been a rise of the wood cost is certainly a problem. And it's only going to get worse once we have this furniture manufactory. So we should really be looking to finding some convoys for our trade routes to upgrade to fill the demand of wood. We have 100 convoys available. We need 105. And they all come from the port in Tlemcen. I'm going to assume that our port could produce more convoys if it wasn't lacking clippers. 50% penalty, thanks to the shortage. So it's super complicated. We need more convoys to import things, which require clippers, which we need to import because we can't build them. Probably gonna have to drop something like that wine route. It's terrible. Or maybe the import route on liquor. Maybe that's what we're gonna have to drop for now. Hopefully they can just substitute liquor for wine or something. I don't know if it actually tells me what intoxicant needs. Liquor, tobacco, or opium, so wine does not substitute for liquor. Which is unfortunate. Luxury drink needs tea, coffee, wine. Yeah. I'm probably gonna have to drop the liquor import route anyway. Let's see if we can't buy some clippers. Because that should allow our wood routes, hopefully, our wood routes to upgrade so we have more wood and solve more problems. Potentially, possibly. Clippers. Who can we buy clippers from? Ideally, would buy from the French. Yeah, and that seems like an okay route. Only uses one convoy too. Kind of funny that it uses convoys to import clippers. Let's do that. And we could just run at a reduced bureaucracy. Bureaucracy deficit. Yeah, let's do that. We don't super need the money right now. And I think it's better for our company, for our country, to get all that. Somebody, Cape Colony allowed Britain to take on their taxes. Okay, intensive agriculture is already spreading, but I'm still gonna invest into it. Now, I would like to see the availability of convoys go up here. It didn't. It didn't. Why? We should have clippers now. Maybe it takes some time. Importing 6 clippers with 1 trade route. Should be good. So I would assume that our port in Tlemcen, yeah, it's no longer having issues. It's only going to use, so we should see it produce more convoys now. Because that's what it does. Yeah, 200 convoys should come out of that. So we should see our available convoy number go up eventually. Surely. Port and Tlemcen doing 100, but that was 100% reduced. Surely this is gonna pop up, right? Game? Game, I need that to be better. We also have a problem with our supply network here. Why? More convoys. Oh, because we don't have quite enough convoys. Yeah, we know that. But we're working on it. It might take a moment for a port to actually deliver all the convoys we need. It's quite possible. But I do really expect this to go up. Let's do another Monday. No. Why are you not going up? You're no longer penalized. You're producing 200 convoys. Well, should be good. Again, it might just be a matter of time. That's an interesting decision. We're actually in debt now. It'll be fine. We're almost done building the furniture manufacturing. Then we can spend some time just removing debt. It'll be okay. We need additional clippers to import more clippers. I don't know that we actually need more clippers, though. Maybe we have accrued some sort of debt of convoys that needs to, or of clippers, that needs to be fulfilled or something. Unproductive wood import trade routes. I'm tempted to drop one of them. I'm tempted to drop both of them right now. I don't know. They're unproductive because we stopped building. I want to stop building for a moment to recoup our losses. So I guess it's correct to drop these routes for now. But we do need some wood. I feel like we're going to see a need of wood arise in a moment here. Especially with our furniture manufacturing now up and running. Which we should check on the latest thing. It claims that it would make more money even though we don't have goods. But I have my doubts. Still don't know how input or how good substitution works with these kind of goods. No clue. I'm not quite believing the game here. I know we're not using our construction production. I want to make back my money. How is our furniture manufacturing actually doing? Oh, it seems to be doing great. Highly productive right now. But that should mean we see the radicals going down heavily because we're employing people, paying people. Also, people get chairs. Price is still very high, but price of chairs should drop. At least I assume that. Okay, we're still okay. Okay, we're slightly down on wood now. I'm gonna see the need for an import trade route for wood, I'm sure. Especially once we start building again. But gosh, that wine. We do have spare. I assume we have spare convoys now, right? Surely we're okay. No, still at 100. How much time do I need to have passed before? Maybe we can export some wine without convoys, say to the Moroccans. That costs money. I don't have the amount of convoys needed here. A little bit confused by this, frankly. Yeah, we see price for furniture dropping to more normal levels here. Services are getting very expensive. I should definitely be looking into that eventually. How much time do you need to actually get the 200 though? It does seem weird, right? French are cordial now. And I believe we are trading a little bit. Yeah, so actually only 53 up. We need way more volume. Maybe I wasn't right about the opinion mattering. Maybe it was just attitude, and I've been using opinion in the past to increase attitude. So maybe the improving of opinion here doesn't do much. But we'll see about that. Still confused by this. Surely. Don't call me Shirley. I'm clicking around because I kind of want this to refresh. None of these settings really matter. Okay, I'm gonna give it to the start of the month. Yeah, it still didn't fix itself. I wonder what happens if we do start another trade route. Maybe it's gonna be okay then. Let's sell wine to the French. Peace treaty between the Zulu. What? Who actually won? No. The Spanish subjugated the Zulu. How are we doing on the trade routes? Yes, I get that you need a little more now. I don't understand why we're not getting our 200. That's really confusing. Development buildings, port. 200. We do not have the -50 modifier. It's a cargo port, that's why we're getting so much. Anchorage would be a lot less. Using fewer clippers, sure, but we could upgrade our port level if we really wanted to. But this should be providing 200 convoys. We look at the port itself. Port. There you are. You have 5 clippers coming in, and you have 200 convoys coming out. It's just there. You're losing money, which is fine. It's not your job to make money. You have the workforce you need. More time modifiers. You should be producing 200 clippers. Not clippers, convoys. Something's wrong here. We're almost at the end of an episode anyway, so I'm gonna reload the game between this episode and the next to see if that maybe fixes our convoy situation. We did come back out of debt. We even accrued some money. We have a tiny bit of money in the investment pool from our aristocrats, I assume, but it's very, very tiny, so it doesn't really matter. I am tempted to upgrade our government building, so we have more bureaucracy. Alternatively, no, we don't have the paper, so we still lack wheat. We're still working on the technology. Should be showing somewhere. I'm just blind. Technology progress is somewhere. I mean, I know I can click on technology, but I thought it was somewhere on the screen. Well, oh, that's just right there. The technology button itself. Kind of close to being done with intensive agriculture, which will increase our output of grain by a lot. So I'm not actually too sure that that's a great idea to just upgrade grain production right now. So really, it is upgrade government administration for better trading, just more trade routes thanks to bureaucracy. The thing with building industry that's based on wood we import is not only that we have to import the wood for it, it's also that every time we start constructing something, there's going to be a huge drain on wood in our country, which is going to make it a lot harder for these buildings to be productive. So I'm tempted to just build a paper mill, because we're going to need paper anyway. What we could do, it's potentially expensive, but we can do is you can grab a building that exists, let's say our furniture manufactory. And so what we don't want to have happen is once we build something, price of wood goes up, the furniture manufacturer stops making money, and it just drops all the employees and they stop producing. What we can do is we subsidize the building. Right now, I can just click the button, it's going to cost me nothing because it's making money. But whenever it loses money, it's going to take it from me rather than putting it on the employees. Which is good because it doesn't hurt us in radicals, because people are still getting paid. It's bad because it takes away our money. But maybe that's how we want to continue here. We will obviously need wood imports once we start building again. Kind of tempted to do this. The real question is, how much wood can we import? And the same thing I'm doing here, that's why I'm talking about it right now, is what we would be doing with the paper mill too. So this just keeps producing paper. And in a way, it costs our money anyway, because if we're subsidizing, the price of paper shouldn't go up as much, which means that we don't have to buy paper for as much money for government buildings. It's somehow coming out of the same pocket in the end. Tempted. It might be too early to do, but that's not having any wood. It's also kind of good to have a steady need of wood, so we keep the export routes or import route at high level, rather than always going up and down and having to cancel them and restart them when we're building something. I'm gonna plop down a paper mill. It might be a bit early. Maybe we should be accruing some more money, because we don't want to go too deeply into debt. I think it's better to accrue money and then spend it. Well, yeah. It can be better to accrue money and then spend it, rather than spending money you don't have and then spending some time reaccruing that money. The advantage of using loans for paying off afterwards is that you're already getting the benefit of the building you've been building for that money. Disadvantage is you have to pay interest. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. A defense pact with the two Sicilies. That's interesting. Now clearly, we can't do much to defend anybody. So if the two Sicilies get attacked, then that'd be bad for us. But on the other hand, we get somebody to protect us. How are you doing? You are allied to Sardinia-Piedmont. Okay. Belgium and Parma improving relations. What I would like to see is... Okay, relations, show attitude. Oh, these are nice buttons. I love these buttons. That's cool. I want that in EU4. That's great. Okay, France is protective towards them. Austria is unknown. There's nobody really hating on them right now. What's all the red in the Ottoman Empire there? I think I'm gonna accept. I think that's positive for us. That should also help with our relationship, right? And maybe we can get some sort of trade agreement? Wouldn't that be nice? Well, right now they're not accepting because of note, but we're very, very close actually. We need to find something to trade with the two Sicilies. That would be huge. Might be able to join their market. I'm not actually super interested in doing that because I want to play around with having a single market right now, just so we understand the market system a bit more before we join bigger markets. But I would like a trade agreement if you have anything cool to send me. Trade routes. If I were to say import wood, are the two Sicilies even in the list? Why can I not import from the Sicilian market? Because neither of us has an interest in the strategic region. That's weird with us being allies and all that. If I declare an interest in Italy, is that going to hurt our relationships? I mean, right now I think we have our declared interest somewhere in Africa, but we're not about to do anything there anyway. We have another slot. Apparently, no, it's unavailable. We're using 1 of 1. Can I undeclare this one? I can. That was easy. Add a declared interest. The single stress where they might get involved in diplomatic place. Requirement for any actions. Cannot colonize. It doesn't say that it hurts my relationships to anybody. I'm gonna declare an interest in Italy. That's fine. And now we should be able to trade with them. Import route. It's still looking for wood. Where's the Sicilian market? It takes a while to establish itself. Okay, I'm gonna put a cut in here. But I think we might have made a little bit of progress. Maybe. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you're seeing, as always, please do hit that like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and if you have anything to say, please do so down there in that comment section. Thank you for watching. See you folks next time.